I just shot a full video talking about Open, the 2023 Open, and I wanted to do kind of an intro beforehand because while I was shooting, just a little extra background about me. We rescue German Shepherds, and I've got a bunch of them. And through a lot of the video, you're going to hear Sammy and Coda playing. Little retards just don't shut up. That's all day. Right now, they're at my feet in my office, just hanging out. But anyway, I just wanted to open this up and say, I just opened up the camera. I'm just using my iPhone to do these, figuring out how to do this and making decisions as I go. And I just decided, let's just do it. So without further ado, here we go. The Open's all done, all but the butt hurt and crying and all like that. And I'm watching all these YouTube channels and podcasts that are, trashing the Open for 2023 Open. And, personally, I think they've got it wrong. I'll grant the Open sucks, but it sucks for different reasons than what they're talking about. Yeah, everybody talking about this stuff, they're regional athletes, coaches, even elite level games people, things like that. And it's a perspective. They're all like, oh, well, this workout, there was too much pulling, it was torturing the shoulders, there was nothing. Andrew Hiller talked about, we're orange, is CrossFit now just Orange Theory, that anybody can walk in off the street and do these workouts. And I'm kind of like, whoa, have you been to a Walmart lately? I mean, I'm sorry, you take a general sample of the population, and one, they wouldn't show up to do the workout in the first place. And next, most of your people, I mean, I go to a Anytime Fitness, and I would suspect that a lot of those people at that Anytime Fitness would be very challenged to get through any one of the 3 workouts that we just did. And I'm not like pumping us up, or pumping up CrossFit or anything, but let's be honest here. So before I go further, who am I, and why is my opinion valid here? Start off, one, as I build my channel, I'll be doing this quite often as we get started, but I'm Jake Watkins, software developer, been doing that for 30 years. I tried to start CrossFit in 2017, but my job just didn't work. I made it to a couple of Saturday workouts, which just about killed me. But I got recruited to this new organization. I'm purely remote now, and they actually work schedules around so I make it to the gym, which is amazing. So I get to go to CrossFit all the time. But who am I, and why is what I have to say here valid? I'm your freaking customer. I'm the guy that shows up at the gym and has figured out he wants to get in shape. I call it my do not die plan. So that's who I am. That's why you should listen to me, and why my opinion on the Open I think is valid. So here's my opinion is, the Open sucks, but not because of the workouts. Funny thing was, I was going to shoot this prior to the Open, but a lot of stuff happened and I'm just disorganized as heck. I mean, even this video is not what I planned. But we're doing it. So the Open workouts, what I would have said is Open workouts are terrible. They just do all of this stupid stuff. This workout, the 2 that Bosman put together, actually kind of sick. I kind of like them. The burpee pull-ups, my gym buddy, I kind of like burpee pull-ups now. It's weird. They're terrible, but I actually like them. Sun's in my eyes, so I keep looking down. Anyway, and then this last workout we just did Saturday, I couldn't believe it. I can't snatch. I can't snatch for shit. My form sucks. I make coaches cry. In class, I stopped at 95 pounds. And I did 115 pounds. I only got 1 rep in. I was so smoked by the time I got there, but I did it. It was a decent workout. It depends upon what happens this afternoon, whether or not I try it again. It's a coin toss. We'll see. So the workouts weren't that terrible, but why does the Open suck? The games. Honestly, I can't stand the CrossFit games. That said, the steps, the Madison thing, that should be the advertisement for CrossFit. I forget her name. She's going up the steps and the whole crowd is coming in behind her. That is the most CrossFit thing ever. But overall, the games, just to me, are garbage. I keep hearing all this stuff about professionalizing the sport, blah, blah, blah. No, go back. Go back to what this started as. When Castro had people coming out to the ranch, they were real people. Matt Frazier, all of the games athletes, Claire Toomey and all like that, sure, they're wonderful people, but I don't relate to them, okay? I have a real job. I've got to go build some Azure functions today that process messages coming back from a SMS provider that we use. And then I get to go work out. And one of the things I keep going off on, Claire Toomey can't do 75 single unders when it matters. Okay? Scaled athletes in every gym around the world can string together 75 single unders all day long when it matters. She couldn't, and she's the fittest on earth. Whatever. I can't relate to it. Go back. I want teachers, mechanics. I've got a friend. He trains mechanics for a major car manufacturer, and he solves. One of the problems that he was given was the car. Like, you try to turn the radio to an AM station, and the trunk opens, and he had to figure out why that was happening. Weird, just that type of stuff. And then you're able to perform at a very high level of fitness. And the Open is just in line with getting to the games, and I don't care about the games, really don't. I've battled back and forth on whether or not to do the Open. And I'll do a separate video about whether or not you should. And overall, yes, I think you should do the Open. But I think they could make it better. I've gone over why it sucks. Well, how do they make it better? Well, here's the thing. It's the data. First off, you can't compare year to year. People say, oh yeah, you can see how. No, you can't. None of the workouts are repeated. I mean, I didn't start CrossFit until 2019. So that 2014 workout that we did first, I don't know. Yeah, we did it in class. And here's the funny thing. Last year we did it in class, and I actually scored better in class than I did during the Open. Except I didn't, because I know how I am in class and how I was then. I'm somewhat different now about these things. I took the judges course, and I'm more serious about the movement standards and doing things correctly. I know that when I did 2014.4, and I think we did in 2022, like in January or February, I scored higher, but I was doing jumping pull-ups. And I'm tall, I'm 6'2", and I probably used a bar that was just over my head where I could probably just jump and get my chin over that bar without using any arms. The pull-ups I did during the Open, one, the bar was, full arms reach above, so those were real pull-ups. What else was there? Or maybe I'm getting it wrong, but it's still, I know the difference between, the wall ball. Wall balls. I guarantee the wall balls I did in 2022 were no reps. Andrew Hiller would have been all over it. And no rep, because I wasn't getting below parallel. My coach, Kyle, or Judge, he made sure he no-rep me on one of my wall balls because it was probably to parallel. Okay, it wasn't to parallel. But, you know, it's that type of stuff. The movements this year were better than last year. So you can't compare. How do you get it so you can compare? Well, it's the data that they collect, in my opinion. They don't collect enough data. They get your age and which gym you go to. Okay, cool. I can compare against other people in my age bracket, but that just doesn't. So what? How about this? When did you start CrossFit? How many classes a week on average do you go to? How many hours on average do you spend in the gym? What's your diet? I'd love to know, like vegan, carnivore, what was it, paleo, just, you know, all the various different diets, or just, you know, general thing I eat, a diet, do I track, that type of stuff. There is how you're eating, because I really would love to see how vegans stack up in there, because personal opinion, I'm going to bet they don't do well. But that type of data then collected, and my wife was like, well, how would they collect it and like that? I would say they could do two ways. One is, you know, through the, you know, one, when you sign up, just have a survey, collect that information, and have a checkbox, you know, hey, make it available, or put me into an anonymous data set that doesn't include my name, just, you know, this other data, so that I can sit down, and then you could really compare your performance. You know, you could at least within that year kind of see that, oh, look, people who went to the gym more performed better than I did. Or perhaps, you know, you're like, oh, I'm spending 30 hours a week in the gym, and yet this guy who just goes to 3 classes a week and spends 6 hours in the gym a week just kicked my butt. Maybe the quality of your time in the gym isn't that good. Additionally, I would add 2 workouts to the Open: the CrossFit Total and the Murph. The CrossFit Total, because it gives you basic lifting, you know, your back squat, shoulder press, and deadlift. And it's consistent. It's, you know, same movement. You can't mess with it. And you scaled and RX would be the exact same. It's just how far they go in the weight. As a matter of fact, you may have some scaled people who have higher scores than RX people in a CrossFit Total. And then the Murph, because it's just a beat down. You know, you run a mile, you do all the pull-ups, the push-ups, the air squats, and then you get to run another mile. So it really tests your endurance. So those 2 numbers every year going forward would allow you to actually see, am I getting better? And you'd also have that additional data of, what? Dude, knock that off. Sorry. There's, I have 9 dogs. Well, 6 are mine, 3 are my daughters. But yeah, it's a lot of dogs. So anyway, sorry, totally blew my focus. But you'd have this data, and you'd actually be able to see year by year how you're doing in your practices, you know, going to the gym more often, not going, getting, you know, maybe I actually track sleep in there as well. But just that basic of, you know, my diet and my gym practices alone would get you set up where you could see your performance, and you'd be able to compare against other people and their practices so that you could actually do better. So anyway, but the whole thing, to me, it's easy to trash what these guys are doing, but why not let's focus on how we can make it better. Wow, I did all of this. I didn't even go off on double under crossovers, which are awesome, by the way, and CrossFitters should be doing them all the time. Yeah, anyway, happy Monday. Bye.